Hey guys, first of all, I want to start by saying I'm really sorry for the late Ask Dan segment today. I was having some technical issues and some update issues. My computer was updating and it just was taking its time. And obviously, when you're in a rush, everything just happens a little bit slower. So I hope you guys have had a cracker week. I know the weather's been a bit on and off, and it's been a bit sunny and rainy. But without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So this week's a massive topic. I actually spoke with somebody from Italy, so the fans around the world. Somebody reached out and asked me some questions about rapid weight loss and about my surgery. So this week I wanted to talk about the negative effects of rapid weight loss. Now, for those of you who follow me on social media, you'll see that I had a lot of loose skin. I lost a lot of amounts of weight. And just to clarify a couple of things, I lost about 50 kilos in the first 6 months. I was just training hard. I was just following my nutrition, following the plan, the formulas and all that. And I ended up losing a lot of weight. Before I get in any further, I wanna just clarify two things. First thing is I want to clarify the difference between weight and fat. So most people you'll tend to hear a plan of a deficit, or when you're at a calorie deficit because you want to try and lose fat. What I tend to do is I want to maintain. I want to try and get up to close to 100% fat loss. Now, the difference between fat loss and weight loss is weight is all weight. So water, fat, muscle, whatever it may be. So when you look down at the scale and you see a 5 kilo drop in that week, you may have lost 3 kilos of water, 1 kilo of fat, and a kilo of muscle. Like, that's just a hypothetical, but that's weight loss. When I write a plan or when I work with clients, we aim for 100% fat loss. Now, the difference is with fat loss, you're just aiming to lose the fat. So when people turn around and say, well, what do you mean you're going to be losing about a 1 kilo a week fat? Well, technically, you might lose 4 kilos of weight in that week, but again, I can guarantee 1 kilo of fat loss. So that's just the difference between weight loss and fat loss for those of you who are unclear and who don't know. Now, let's just rewind a little bit. So I was talking through some impacts of rapid weight loss with one of the clients from Italy. He reached out and he said, hey, Dan, I just got a couple of questions for you. And again, any time of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know I'm here to answer the questions. This is why I've built the community. This is why I'm running these webinars, these Ask Dan, Stressless Saturdays, because people will get roadblocks and people do have challenges. I have overcome majority of these challenges. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. So I might as well share it with you guys. Now, so the actual biggest impact that a rapid weight loss, the biggest negative impact you're going to have is you may put the weight back on. Now, with diets like a 12-week program, or if you don't actually target your own lifestyle and you're just aiming to lose that weight, what happens after 12 weeks? So, for example, what happens 12-week and 1 day? There's no more plan. There's no more. Do you just maintain that level of high intensity training and that strict diet? Well, you really can't maintain that level of dieting and that level of intensity because it's just not sustainable. So the 12-week plan will give you that instant rapid weight loss, but the negative impact on that is that you might go back after day one because you haven't adapted any of these dramatic changes in the past 12 weeks within your life. So that's where I differ. I tend to work around your lifestyle, so that way it starts off as a 12-week plan or a 6-week plan, 35 days, whatever it may be, but it's basically changing minimal amounts of, it's making minimal amounts of changes in your life. So therefore, after 12 weeks and 1 day, it's just second nature to you. So you're constantly maintaining it and you're constantly living a healthy and fit life. So that's the first negative impact. There's most likely a high chance, if you're not adopting any of the teachings or the mindset techniques or any of the fitness or nutritional techniques that you learn throughout your 12-week plan, the chances are you're most likely going to put that weight back on. And you've heard multiple stories of where people put the weight back on and plus some. The first time I started training, I was about 16 and I was sitting at around 130 kilo mark. This was early days, and I ended up losing about 10 or 15 kilos in 3 months. And then after that, I didn't know what to do because the plan ran out and I can't really start the plan again because it wasn't working in my favor, or it was just too hard to maintain. Life got in the way, yada, yada, yada. And I ended up putting back 20 kilos. So initially when I lost the 10 to 15, I'm really not sure, I ended up putting 20 kilos back. So I was now at 135 or 140 kilos, and it's definitely where I didn't want to be. The second biggest problem, and now you've seen this through my transformation, is the loose skin. Now, different body types and different weight loss depends on how much skin you get. Now, the slower you lose the weight, the more chance your body has to adapting, and the more chance the elasticity in your skin has in going back to normal. Just for the record, you will never be 100% normal after having loose skin. You're always going to have either a scar, or you might have some sort of mark, or you have something there that reminds you that there was loose skin. Yes, you're going to get close to normal, but even now with my surgery, even when I'm ripped down to a single digit body fat, there is still a significant amount of, there's some skin around the midsection, around the waist, but it's not enough to give you that second head turn. You're going to get as close to normal as possible. I like to call it, you're about 80 to 90% normal within the right angles. Now, obviously, you're going to see some photos with my shirt off, and you won't be able to see the loose skin. But when I'm not training for like a ridiculous shred, or if I'm just training to maintain my current physique, off and on days, on some high carb days where I really want to push some weight, you tend to hold a little bit of water, and you'll see the loose skin pop up around the lower back. It is what it is. My legs have a little bit of loose skin, but over time, when I'm building muscle and when I'm maintaining this lifestyle, it'll either remove, or I'll hopefully fill the loose skin with muscle, and it'll just balance itself out. So a good problem to have is I ran into a lot of issues where it was expensive. It was really expensive after a rapid weight loss. I lost 50 kilos in 6 months. So my wardrobe had 2 changes. Initially, I was a 7XL. I dropped down to like a 5 or a 4 extra large, and then I dropped down to like a single or a double extra large. So it was quite expensive. So just keep in mind that that's a small problem, but it can be a big financial problem, because I now could no longer wear a 7 extra large shirt or a 7 extra large pants because I physically couldn't fit into them. I was basically swimming in the pants. So just keep that in the back of your mind. I know it's really, really a good problem to have, but it's still going to be a negative impact of a rapid weight loss. Now, when I say rapid weight loss, I'm not talking about a kilo or 2 a week. I'm talking about if you're dropping 10 kilos a week, like the Biggest Loser rapid weight loss. When you see them jump on the scale and it's like 13 kilo loss, you're like, wow, that's a 1 or 2 dress sizes or 1 or 2 pant sizes, whatever it may be. Also, another negative impact is plateauing. So you will plateau quicker, because your body will tend to adapt. Now, I'm only talking from a generalist perspective and from where I'm coming from. I know that some doctors prescribe for life and death situations a really rapid weight loss to get you past the line, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your average Joe who has the additional 10 to 15 kilos and wants to lose them within 2 to 3 weeks at a ridiculous rate. I'm talking about a deficit of plus 1,500 to 2,000 of a deficit, which is quite extreme in those cases, and that will put you at an extreme rapid weight loss. So you will plateau faster because your body, all of a sudden, your macronutrients have been calculated for. Your macronutrients have been calculated for 150 kilos, and now you're dropping at a rate of 5 to 7 kilos a week. So you'll plateau after 3 weeks because you're eating calories for a 150 kilo human, but you're now 130 kilos. So you're constantly going to have to revise throughout the transformation. You're going to constantly have to revise your macros and watch your nutrition and just make sure you're on top of it, because you will plateau. So that's another negative impact. The other thing that I really want to talk about is loss of lean muscle mass. Now, when you're losing a dramatic amount of weight every week, it is inevitable that you will lose a bit of muscle. Now, the difference is the threshold. In some people can lose up to a kilo and have a 99% or 95% chance that out of that kilo, 95% of that was fat, which is the ideal ratio that you want to be in. You can stretch it anywhere back to 80%, but if you're losing more than 50% muscle every week, you are malnourished, or you need to revise your macronutrients or your training regime. That is not, in my opinion, the place that you want to be, the ratios that you want to be at. The reason for that is the more amount of lean muscle mass that you have on your body, the higher your caloric intake can be. For example, if I was really, really small and I had a small frame and I was a little bit shorter and I had a little bit of lean muscle, my maximum amount of calories that I can consume a day may be 1,400 to 1,500. Now, fast forward a little bit. If I am at my size now, a bigger frame, and I've got an additional 5 to 6 to 7, maybe even 10 kilos of muscle on top of that frame, my maintenance calories, so the amount of calories that my body needs to survive today and not change, would be up to 2,500, 2,600. So on some days, I'm consuming over 3,000 calories, and I'm still losing weight on that amount of calories. Not because I'm training for 4 or 5 hours, but because my body has a lot of lean muscle, and lean muscle requires energy to maintain. And when I'm pushing, I'm burning a lot more energy, so therefore I can refuel myself. And that might not sound important now, What that means is it gives you a cheat meal threshold. For example, if I was on 1400 or 1500 and I've already had breakfast, lunch, and I've had a snack throughout the day, my dinner is most likely going to be around the 3 to 4, 5, maximum 500 calorie mark, depending on what type of lifestyle plan I'm on. Now, if I've got a calorie threshold of 3000 and I've had a breakfast, lunch, my dinner can be anywhere between 800 to 1000 calories, depending on how much I've consumed throughout the day. So immediately it gives you that extra little bit of buffer where you can have a cheat meal, or you can, you can slide in a couple of snacks here and there, additional snacks, which won't affect your actual goal or your outcome. I'm all for looking at food as not good and bad. I'm all for looking at food as portion controlled. So McDonald's can be good and bad at the same time. Obviously, if you go over your calorie thresholds, it's bad. But if you're under your calorie thresholds, it's definitely good. So they're just the top negative impacts that I noticed when I was going through my transformation and through every one of my clients that I've spoken to. Before, one additional thing I want to throw in there is that you can have loose skin surgery. But I would like to suggest that make sure that you've maintained the weight off for as long as possible. In my case, I maintained my frame, I'll call it, for about a year and a half before I decided to go through the loose skin surgery. What that enables me to do is that I've actually adapted this way of life, and there's no chance that I will get back to that level. I might gain 2 to 3 kilos in winter here and there, or I might be going for a lean bulk and all of a sudden I've gained 5 to 6 kilos, but I'll never be at that 120, 130, 40, 50, 70 mark. Again, what that does is it gives your skin a chance to get to become firm again. Yes, you will still have loose skin, but it also gives you a chance to see if you can sustain your lifestyle. The last thing you want to be doing is having loose skin surgery and then put the weight back on, because now you've stretched the skin even more. And it'll just be a vicious cycle. I actually don't technically know or medically know if you can have loose skin surgery on the same area in multiple times. I just hope I don't ever find that out. So yeah, sorry about the long one, guys. It was a really important topic, and we had a great chat with the international viewer. And this is a shout out to him in Italy. I don't want to drop any names just in case it's a little bit shy and awkward. But yeah, guys, keep the questions coming. It was an awesome topic, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Till Saturday, I hope you stick to the plan. There has been an update on the app, so you'll see a cool set of new features. Check out the new package I put in this ab workout as well. It's incredible. Twice a week, it'll absolutely destroy your core, and you'll notice massive changes within the upcoming weeks. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll catch you later.